Anti-Tracker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulty.
What is going on, YouTube? Michael J. Crawford, the Anti-Tracker here, and good to see all of you that are here and all of you that will join. So first of all, right to the chat, Thomas was first in the house, says hi. Hey Thomas, thank you so much for joining once again. You are like the morning sun. I can count on you being there whenever possible. Azine says hello. Jason says howdy, howdy. Hey, Thomas says Cinnabon is live, which sucks. I did not know Cinnabon was streaming. And thank you, Thomas. Puts a $1.99 in the chat. Well, it's number 22. We'll get to that in just a minute. But Cinnabon, if you see this or if anybody is chatting with Cinnabon, please send him my apologies. I did not know he was streaming. You know, I should have done this stream a couple of hours ago, but I just could not manage to get up and running. Mrs. Antricker, poor, she's been struggling to try and get me out of bed today. So, yeah, it's been a rough morning. Anyway, back to the chat. Valor says, hey, Mrs. Anti-Trekker is waving. You know, she likes to lurk on the stream, so of course you guys can say hi to her, which I know you all will. Life with Matthew says, hey, Anti-Trekker, those ice machines are the best for post-knee surgery recovery. You better believe it. It came in yesterday and tested it out a little last night. This bad boy right here is an ice/water reservoir connected via insulated tubing to a wrap on my leg, so it's circulating very cold water around my leg while also applying a little bit of compression to the leg. It is about 10 times better than an ice pack, so I really like it. I just wish I had it on the day I got home from surgery. Alexander says hello, and then Jperf1 Jperf1 says, hello everyone, my first stream here. Hey, Jperf1, look, my friend, welcome. I absolutely love seeing new faces, but what kind of username is that? Come on now, you can do better than that. We need to get this guy or lady a good username. And so, but welcome. And Alexander says hello to Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Jason also saying hail to Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Dan23 says, I'm in the UK, so you sometimes go live at times when it's not available for me to watch. I know, Dan, and that's, you know, honestly, that's a struggle with doing this. I love, you guys know, I absolutely love hanging out with you. If it were up to me, my entire channel, which of course lately because of the surgery and stuff it has been, but my entire channel would just be hanging out with you guys. I love doing live streams with you. And if I had, you know, honestly, what I would probably do, and I probably eventually will do, if I ever get to do this full time, would be to do 2 live streams a day, just maybe a little bit shorter, and then in between the live streams work on regular videos so that I could do one in the morning my time and in the evening my time so that I can hang out with people on all sides of the globe, or as Darren Wagner would say, all corners of the earth. Or actually it's round but flat, so I guess all intersections on the flat plane, or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. I would love to be able to hang out with you guys every day. And those in Europe, those in the US, those in Asia, South America, Australia. I wish that I could just do it at a convenient time for everybody, but the nature of time zones makes that pretty much impossible. However, I am still, you know, very excited about being here with you. Anyway, Life with Matthew says, welcome to Jperf1, who says thanks. Alexander also says, welcome to Jperf1. And yes, Jperf, you will find that this is a very welcoming crowd overall. So, and that's something I'm very proud of with the community that we've built here. And I can't take all the credit because you guys are the community. I'm just one member, you know, and I just happen to be the lucky one that gets to sit here in front of the camera. So let's get right to Thomas's request number 22. There we go. And where was I? Oh, BIRDOPREY is in the house, says Kapla, welcome. Jip1 is saying thank you to the crowd. Again, Jip1, you will find very friendly crowd. And just so you know, since you're new, I welcome, and most of us here do in fact welcome dissenting opinions or any type of argumentation on just about any subject we talk about. The only thing that I ask is that no threats of any kind on any person. Like we had a person during the stream last night that was saying some rather horribly derogatory things about another YouTuber who put up a video defending Star Trek Discovery, and we talked about him a little bit. And well, and I see BIRDOPREY is on the server doing something. Man, that is a big ship. But we do not threaten people here. Period. If you start saying things like this person should die or some crap like that, you will immediately have that comment removed. If you continue to do it, you will be kicked. That's rule number one. Rule number two is we're all family. We can argue, we can fight, but remember, in the end, we are still family. And so, fight from a perspective of love and caring, not from a perspective of hate. And don't get me wrong, we fight serious sometimes, but at the end, we're not going to lose our friendships over it. All right. Even though, for example, BIRDOPREY is a complete idiot because he thinks that Columbus is practically a god, that's okay. I still love BIRDOPREY, and he's entitled to be wrong. Which, by the way, BIRDOPREY, I just thought it was kind of funny. Everybody wanted to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day and all that. I've got a better idea, and I ran this by Mrs. Antitrekker, and she agrees. Here's what I think we should replace Columbus Day is: Guys Refuse to Ask for Directions Day. Because, of course, Columbus thought he was in India when he discovered the New World, right? Because the man couldn't ask for directions just like every other dude today. So that's the new name of the holiday, I think. Thomas says, morning, it's 1 p.m. for me. Yes, well, it's actually 12:30 for me as well. However, the reason I said morning is because I literally managed to crawl out of bed with some help from Mrs. Antitrekker and Joshua. I just got situated up here with the ice machine and stuff before I started this live stream. So it feels like morning, even though, yes, it's early afternoon. Piano Dean, I don't know if I've seen you before either, Piano, so welcome if you're new, says greetings. Charles King says hi. John DeMarco is here. Cinnabon, hey, I'm sorry to step on your live stream, my friend. Now that you're here, of course, you posted that comment 7 minutes ago, but now that you're here, I'm truly sorry. I hope I didn't ruin your live stream because that was not my intent. Darth Revan says, hey man, Brexit is ending soon. They might reach an agreement today. Ireland is holding its breath. Well, best of luck. I don't know which side of the Brexit thing you're on. I can't honestly give an educated opinion on Brexit. Because I genuinely don't understand all the nuances of the politics over there. I don't, and I'm not going to pretend to. But I hope that it works out the best for you guys. I truly do. And, not just for those of you in Ireland, but, the couple of good English people, I'm sure there are a couple of them, and of course the good people of Scotland. I truly want the best for your three nations, even though you all kind of fall under the United Kingdom, except for part of Ireland, and it's a mess. So that's why I'm saying trying to follow your politics is freaking impossible. All right, and by the way, guys, just especially anybody that's new here, just so you know, when I do fall behind, which is almost every live stream, I start only addressing comments that have my name in it. So if you truly want me to read your comment, make sure you put @Antitrekker in the comment. It does have to have the hyphen or it won't highlight on my screen. So please do that. And let's see, Darth Rem says, Miss Antrigger, hey, hope you're doing okay with Peg Leg Hobbit. And Dr. Alex is here. Haven't talked to you in a little while. Dr. Alex says hi. All right, sorry. Hello, Anti-Trekker. I can't stay too long, but just popping in to say hi. Well, thank you, Dr. Alex, and welcome, my friend. I missed talking to you. And, you know, and it's funny because as much as we make fun of you and stuff because, you know, you're English, I do hope one day in the not too distant future, if me and Mrs. Antrigger ever get a chance to come to your side of the planet to actually meet you, meet Luke, meet Darth Revan, you know, everybody else over there on the other side of the great ocean. Thomas says 24-hour stream would be convenient for everyone. That's true. And you know what? I may, when I'm getting close to going back to work, I may do a 24-hour telethon just to try and recover some of the literally thousands of dollars we've spent on my leg. You know, like help the turd or something. Darth Raven says, Anti-Trigger, the real reason we're all here is for Auntie and Mrs. Anti-Trigger and some severe bullying of a temporarily disabled man. Wow, you're just mean. And let's see. And Live with Matthew telling Jiproof1 all about the super chats. Azine says, Antrigger, yep, my ship. Well, Azine, that is an impressive ship. I will give you credit. I haven't started anything. I'm hoping if this ice holds up and helps the leg, I'm hoping to get into Space Engineers maybe a little bit today, because I really do miss it. And I know that the Turtistanis are mad at me for not... what are you doing? Somebody's flying right at the camera there. I don't know who that is. Is that you, Azine, or is that someone else? Nice looking ship, though. Man, there's some serious battle cruisers going on here. I think we need to do a tournament of these ships. And let's see. And Darth Revan's sending the Discord. Thank you guys for being so welcoming. I do appreciate it. I mean, I know you guys, that's the way you guys are, but I appreciate it. Dan23 says, hi, I'm here. Well, I knew you were here. You commented a minute ago. Let's see. Hey, we all gone be Ellen and George W. up in here. Okay, there you go. That's actually, yeah, I know some people, you know, here's the funny thing. I know some people were giving Ellen DeGeneres a tough time over saying something positive about George Bush. I don't know all the details of it, but, you know, that basically he's a cool guy, even though she disagrees with him. And that, you know, here's the thing. I don't particularly care for Ellen DeGeneres. I don't agree with her on much, and I don't like her attitude very much. That being said, I appreciate that. Because it's absolutely true. We used to, in the political discourse particularly, but in almost everything nowadays, there used to be a little thing called civility. You know, we are a civilized world, theoretically. So civility means that we have the ability, and this is something about humans in general. What separates humans from animals is very simple. We have the ability to rise above our feelings. Right? We do. Even though a lot of... Who's shooting lasers now? Jeez. I know there's a safety zone, so it's not going to do anything, but dang, who's shooting lasers? But we need to rise above our petty feelings on various topics. Like, for example, Star Trek Discovery. A lot of us are very passionate about it. I can't stand a lot of what they've done on Star Trek Discovery. If somebody else thinks that what they've done on Star Trek Discovery is great, let's say the singing Spock, which I found personally quite offensive, but somebody else say they thought singing Spock was a brilliant change of pace for the character, blah, blah, blah. I need to avoid getting emotional about the fact that I find singing Spock so offensive, and focus in on arguing about why I think singing Spock is offensive, and not just resort to insult and attack on that person's personhood, if that makes any sense. All right, I'm enough on that. Mage Grey Wolf says, just got up from a nap. Welcome, my friend. Ozzy says, I hear Turkestan is struggling without their leader. Maybe it's time to step down. Hashtag pots for president. Well, the president has been out of commission for some time, but he will be back on the front line very soon. Thomas says, I sent you a message. Please read after the stream. I will, Thomas. I heard my phone go off when you sent it, so I will definitely do that. Thundercats Ho says, Antrigger, speaking as an Englishman, you don't want to understand Brexit. It's a mess within another mess. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me. Dan says, do you like the English people because you make jokes about them? Well, I like a couple of English people, but, you know, being primarily of Scotch and Irish heritage, it's kind of in my genetics to hate the English. Schromer says, Quantum and Atomic first, the first of all first. Oh, and greetings to Anti-Tricker and fellow nerds. Welcome, Schromer. Vile Mike says, hi. Jason says, I watched the stream last night. Guess I was tired and missed the drama. That's all right, Jason. I think I was wrong. It might have been the stream from the night before. I get confused because of drugs and pain. Dr. Alex says, yes, you must all visit Anti-Trigger. Also, finally broke 200 subs. Awesome. Yeah, I heard about that. Mrs. Anti-Trigger told me she was talking to you about it. You got a little bit of surge in subs, which is awesome. By the way, guys, I do, and this is another thing I say from time to time, but not enough as of late because I've been too damn focused on my knee and the pain, and I apologize for that. But please, when you're in one of these live streams, you see that there are we have several people in the chat right now that create regular content. Dr. Alex is one of them. BIRDOPREY is one of them. Cinnabon is one of them. And so by all means, check them out. Hey, if you like what they're doing, subscribe, maybe even support their channel. If you don't care for it, fine, don't subscribe. But check them out because we are the nerd community and we need to stand together. And so even though I don't get to watch all the YouTube videos I like, I subscribe to a bunch of guys that produce content and show up here all the time. And to me, I mean, I'll tell you, and I know I pat myself on the back about this a couple of times, but I'm very proud of this fact in that I don't take full credit for it, but I'm just saying that I'm proud of the fact that I was a part of this. Back when I first started the channel, I've always been the kind of person that suggests, hey, check out this guy, hey, these guys need more subs, let's check them out. And there were three in particular that I want to mention. All three of these channels were significantly smaller than mine, and all three of them are now significantly larger than mine. And that is Mecha Random, Nerdrotic, and Overlord DVD, aka Doomcock. All three of those channels, I was talking about, hey, these guys are awesome. You guys need to check them out, right? And at the time, I had like 5,000-6,000 subs, and they were like, 4, 5, 3. They were significantly smaller than mine. And I absolutely love these guys, and even though I don't agree with them on everything, they're great channels and stuff. Well, now they're all freaking exploding, right? Doomcock and Mecha are, I believe they're both above 50,000 now, and Nerdrotic is pushing 150,000 subs. So these guys, and they absolutely deserve every sub they've got, and I think more, but we need to raise people up, right? Not everybody is going to make 150,000 subs. Like, I probably never will. However, we need to search within the nerd community, find those channels that we can enjoy and watch those, rather than watching these shill channels like Looper, What Culture, all that crap, that are these corporate-driven channels that just tell you what they think you want to hear. I would much rather have someone that I feel is a genuine, sincere nerd, and that's one of the reasons if you go to antitrekker.com, we actually have a list of genuine nerds, and people like Nerdrotic are on that list. Even though he's a big channel, that doesn't change the fact that he's a genuine nerd. But also, smaller channels are on that list, like BIRDOPREY or Dr. Alex. And so it's not a size thing as much as are you a genuine part of the community? And you find people that are genuine, that you want to support. Vile Mike, another great one, by the way. If you haven't checked out Vile Mike's videos, they're awesome. Ensign Ricky, another great one. But you check out these channels, and we help grow the community. Because guess what? If we're watching those videos and we spread the word and we get them more subs, guess what happens? They get to a point where they can make money, where they can do that, and we can put out more content, better content. I hope and pray for the day that I can do this full time and eventually be able to pay Mr. Miles a good wage so that we can put out the best videos you guys have ever seen. The problem is that right now, we just don't have the resources. When we do, then that will be a true game changer. But we want to make sure that channels like Nerdrotic and many others thrive. And I don't give a crap about what happens to what culture. All right, that's kind of what that's where I'm at. Josh says, hope your new bionic knee isn't causing you too much discomfort. Oh, I'll tell you, Josh, it's going to be a little while, but I'm looking forward to being pain-free, truly. Darth Ren says, give the new guys about the words and algorithm about the Germans' 30 leader words that rhyme with grape and others such. Well, yeah, that's another thing, and thank you for pointing that out, Darth Revan, is that to a couple of new guys out there, we have to be careful because this is a genuine problem on YouTube, is that Google and YouTube are actively trying to discriminate against certain viewpoints, particularly what they consider right-wing viewpoints. And while this is not a political channel, and I'm not a particularly right-wing person, since I do come out and actively speak against the insertion of politics into things like Star Wars The Last Jedi and Star Trek Discovery and stuff, they have flagged me several times as hate speech. And so my channel rarely shows up as a suggested video and that kind of thing. And that hurts. That hurts a lot. And we also have to be careful not to use words like the name of the political party in Germany that was in charge in the 1940s and pretty much responsible for World War II. You don't want to say that N-word because that's an excuse for YouTube to flag a channel as hate speech. If they see a bunch of comments with that word in it, then YouTube sees that as, oh, these people support that political party. And so, yeah, we want to be very, very careful about those kinds of things. Thank you for pointing that out, Darth Raven. Azine says, yep, mine is too. Or mine too. Oh, you mean your ship is there too. Okay, well, those are both nice-looking ships. Viomike literally built Defiant class ship in SE. That's cool. You know, there are some very cool ships sitting there. Rather, there should be evidence uncovered that Vikings made to America first, so shouldn't they change the holiday? I don't mind Columbus Day as a holiday. I just think it should be, you know, Bad Directions Day. Enter, what make fun of someone because they're English, or if you're joking or kidding, let's see. Why make fun of someone because they are English? If you're joking or kidding to a certain extent, I may not get it. Well, Dan, I make fun of just about everybody, and it drives Mrs. Antitrekker and Joshua nuts sometimes because it's absolutely true. I'm constantly making fun of people, particularly people I care about. Like Lore Reloaded, man, has he been the butt of a lot of jokes on this channel. If you don't know who Lore Reloaded is, you should check him out. But I have several Super Chat videos of Lore Reloaded in embarrassing positions and stuff. And so, but part of it is because Lore and I are really good friends. He lives right down the street from me. Mage Grey Wolf says, I don't see what Ellen said as left-right bridge, but just a couple of rich people rubbing shoulders. You know, that's the thing. I don't know the details on what she said, but when people get mad at someone for being civil to someone else, that's stupid. Ozzy says, phasers in Space Engineers instead of lasers? Well, no, those are lasers. Actually, the lasers are a mod because the default Space Engineers game only has rockets and bullets. Yosef says, first, when will the stream start? Sorry, no money. Wife cut resources. That's okay, Yosef. You're not judged based on how many super chats you give. Although, you know, it does help if you give lots of super chats. And let's see. They now show Ellen's show on UKTV. I did not know that. Thundercats Ho says, I understand your feelings towards the English. With you being Scottish, it's also within my Englishness to rule over and make fun of the Scots. Yeah, you see, and that's the problem, Thundercats. We're like genetically designed to hate each other, and so we got to fight that. Jay says, can you sing the Spock song in Kling Orc? As a matter of fact, I can. Let me bring up the lyrics here because the song that Spock sang is Modern Major General. Let's see. So let's bring up the old lyrics. And then, of course, I need to translate it to Klingon. Let's see. And alles noch. Alles und noch dich, Major General. There you go. Klingons don't sing very well. And that's Surf Trek dude. What a loser. And Dr. Alex says, nerdified surds. That's right. Darth the Reverend says, I miss when nerd culture was full of nerds. It's why I love your channel and Comic-Con. Well, thank you, Darth. And that's the thing. That's what I want to bring back. That's the main goal of my channel at this point, is to bring back true nerd culture. We are not this mainstream-ized nerdism, okay? We are not. We will not be. I refuse to be a channel that is for the mainstream. I want this channel for nerds. That's... I'm tired of what's happened to nerd culture because it's been kind of co-opted by the mainstream. Man, getting a lot of messages. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see. Oh, okay. And I'll just have to turn the volume of my phone down because I know the conversation that they're having is important, but... All right. That might make it a little better. Dan says, okay, thanks for reading the comments. Well, that's what I do. Thank you. Let's see. When a bird flies to the moon with a spaceship go boom, that's his live stream. Yes, very true. Jason says, Kling orcs don't sing. Actual Klingons do. Yes, Kling orcs can't sing. That's, I mean, you heard the way that their vocal cords work and stuff. It's physically impossible. Klingons, of course, can sing quite heartily. And that's where and I'm going to go on a pure fun Star Trek tirade for a minute because it's been too damn long since we just talked about this stuff. And that is the, and J Perf 1 says, Nerdrotic suggested your channel. Glad he did. Awesome. And Gary and I are good friends. I'm, by the way, if you don't, and I know that for some of you guys, since this is the daytime stream, it may be inconvenient for you, but Friday night, I will be on Nerdrotic's live stream at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific. I don't know what the time is in Europe, but I hope that as many of you as possible will join, will comment, and yes, even super chat to Nerdrotic, because I want to, you know, and something I've mentioned before, but I'm very proud of the fact that when I'm on Midnight's Edge, their super chat levels go up because I'm there, and a lot of you guys will give them a couple of bucks here and there to show support for both me and them for having me on. So please do the same for Nerdrotic. And so Friday night, I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but I know it's going to be fun because I do love Nerdrotic. Gary is a great guy. He's got a huge well of knowledge of comic book stuff. So I want to talk to him about the Joker movie. I want to talk to him about Discovery. I want to talk to him about the lawsuit. I want to talk to him about everything. So I don't know if he has a set agenda for the show. I'll stick to whatever his rules are because it's his show. But I'm very much looking forward to hanging out with him. Kling Orc culture has two main streams, says John Araki with his super chat. Holy crap, that's a good one. By the way, J1, and we got to get you a better username. Whenever you put in a super chat, you'll notice in the description of this video, you can pick a number 1 through 27 to play a super chat reward. So you tell me, give me a number between 1 and 27, J1, and I will play that corresponding super chat. The overall favorite is number 23, but I'm not going to tell you which one to pick. The one you saw Ryan Johnson's head spinning in a sea of turds, that's number 22. That's Thomas Potts' favorite. And John Araki, thank you for your $2 as well. And of course, you know the rules here. So, Josh Street says, now you're pretty much bed-bound. All you need is a short, but going bald haircut, shortened facial hair, and you could be BIRDOPREY 5 for Halloween. You know, part of me wishes I had a bed like BIRDOPREY's to stream from, because that would be a lot more comfortable than how I'm sitting right now. Because I can't properly, I have an orthopedic pillow coming to elevate my leg with that should help a little bit. But the problem is I can't lie back and be at my computer. And that's makes it very difficult. That's something that I'm very envious of Bird right now. I'm not envious of Bird's condition, but I would love to have that set up right now. Rock Solid is here. Says, no notification again. Unsubscribe. There's not enough HMS Pinafore for me anyways. Well, welcome, Rock Solid. By the way, Rock Solid, and I don't remember if I commented on it, but I saw your video where you showed that stuff that you got for me. Thank you, my friend. Although I will tell you, it hasn't arrived yet, so I don't know how you sent it or if you have tracking information. You might want to check on that. Jason says, I'll be there, Antricker. Awesome, my friend. I hope you will all join me and Nerdrotic on Friday night, or at least anybody that's awake at those hours. Dan says, Antricker, some Star Trek shows like Lower Decks or Nickelodeon Kids Show may not air until late 2021 or after then. Yeah, I know that there's a time release for all this stuff. I have very little faith in any of those shows, to be honest with you, especially watching these last two short treks. And Josh C, what? No, Friday night Anti-Tracker stream? Boo. Actually, depending on how long the Nerdrotic show goes, I may do a brief live stream on this channel afterwards, too, just to talk about what a great time it was and stuff. And Janos Tolnanda, I can't pronounce your name, but welcome. I haven't seen you before. It says, justice for Anas. Absolutely. By the way, for those of you that have been following the whole Anas lawsuit and stuff, which if you really want the information on that, go to Nerdrotic's channel. He is the source of information on the lawsuit. But check this out, guys. We are up to $18,060 raised by the nerd community. That's you and me, raised by that nerd community. $18,000 to help with the appeal on this lawsuit. Holy crap, you guys are awesome. All right, that is just an incredible number. And so, of course, I hope when I do my 24-hour stream that we raise at least $20,000 for that. Wow, that would be nice. Of course, we raise $1 million, I'll quit my job and we'll just stick with doing YouTube from now on and do an annual telethon. Anyway, and Merge Grey Wolf says, something I like about this community is that it made up diverse perspectives and we can still work together. Absolutely. That's the thing. We have conservatives. We have liberals. We have people of every ethnic group. We have people literally all around the world, right? On the live streams, we have regular people from all corners of the UK, from, mainland Europe, from, France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, all over the place in Europe. We have a few regulars that pop in from Australia. We have a few regulars that pop in from South America and a couple even from Asia. And so I love the fact that we have people spread all over the world. Also a pretty healthy amount of Canadians. So I love that fact. And we're very different people. Some of us, man, we can disagree hardcore about stuff, but it's still freaking awesome. And Vile Mike has to go back to the grindstone. All right, my friend, take care, my friend. And don't forget to sub to Vile Mike's channel if you haven't already. His reviews with his daughter, who he calls the Vile Child. I love that, by the way. That is so freaking awesome. I wish you hadn't thought of that because I would have done that. But the reviews you do with your daughter are freaking awesome. All right, they are freaking awesome. And Rock Solid puts another $2 into the chat. Thank you, Rock Solid. I will get to your comment in just a minute. Let me get caught up here. Rock Solid says, I haven't had a chance to send it yet. Prepping for our wedding next week. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Okay, totally cool. You know what? I'm not trying to, although I was kind of looking forward to reading it now since I'm kind of bedridden right now. But I understand. I don't want to pressure you or anything like that. I was just concerned that maybe like if you sent it to the wrong address or something, I didn't want you to feel bad. Darth Redden says, I'm done Christmas shopping as of 12 a.m. tonight. Very good, my friend. And J1 says, number 23, you got it. All right, so you're in for a treat. My personal favorite, and actually most people's personal favorite, number 23. Yes, that is the day that Discovery died, which hopefully will be very, very soon indeed. So thank you, Jipper1. Please, you got to come up with a better. Here's the thing about your username. Pick something you love, whether it's from Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever. I mean, look, you see a lot of names in here of people throwing stuff like Bird of Prey. Perfect example. He loves the Klingon birds of prey, so that's why he calls himself Bird of Prey, right? Star Trek. I love that because it sounds like Star Trek if you say it fast. I'm going to put something that we can say. It makes the conversation go so much easier. But seriously, welcome. I tease your name, but yeah. Nightbreeze says, "Hey, how you doing, Nightbreeze?" Jason says, "Should put Nebula style warp engines set up on Galaxy Saucer. Would make an ugly kit bash, but one hell of a luxury liner science battleship." Well, that's kind of what the Nebula class is, though. It's just like a Galaxy Saucer with warp engines glued right to it. I mean, that's but I think it's an ugly ship. In the UK, in 2020, Star Trek Discovery will show on Netflix, but will also be shown on a UK channel, TV channel called E4. Yeah, I don't remember if it was you, Dan, but somebody mentioned that on the live stream either last night or the night before. And so, lucky you, you'll get to watch it. So, there you go. And Luke Fauvark, my favorite Frenchman, put €2 in and says, "Hello, boys. I'm back." Welcome, Luke, my favorite half Frenchman. And I have to say half Frenchman because if you're fully French, I would have to hate you because the French are horrible people. But I know you're only half French, so that makes you half okay in my book. Darth Raven says, "I'm from the Republic of Ireland. LOL. I haven't done that in a while." I know. And your country is so confusing to me. Hello, and Thomas Potts has a ship quiz. So give me just a minute to get a little more caught up, Thomas, and we'll get right to your ship quiz. Those are always fun. The rest of you will understand in a moment, particularly those of you that knew. Joseph, don't forget about Slovakia. You're right. I'm sorry. I did leave Slovakia off my list because it's not one of those countries that just pops into your mind when you think. But yes, Joseph. And you are here all the frickin' time, so I feel bad for not saying Slovakia. We can disagree, but still be respectful, remain friends. Exactly, Jason. And that's what we need to do. We need to set the example. These SJW idiots out there that are sitting there calling us a bunch of racists and homophobes and misogynists and all this crap, they are just breeding hate and talking about hate. They are so full of hate that they're consumed by it. If we can respond respectfully and with love and all that and make real arguments and not arguments just saying you're stupid and you hate people, but we make real arguments about why we think, no, this is why I think this is out of character for Spock. We can show in the original series and time again that, for example, Plato's Stepchildren, it was an episode in which they force Spock to sing and they force him to dance, and guess what? I got him! And Luke puts another €2 in, and I'm also half Hannibal. Okay, Luke. I'm not sure what Hannibal means exactly, but you're half okay in my book. Where was I? So we respond with, for example, Plato's Stepchildren. They force Spock to sing and dance in that episode, and McCoy points out to them that because of Spock's Vulcan physiology, it is physically damaging to a Vulcan to have to express emotions like this. And so why would it make sense that if that is physically a painful thing for Vulcans and it actually can hurt them and even kill them if they're forced to express emotion in that way for a significant amount of time, why would he do it voluntarily when he's stuck in a turbolift with someone he doesn't even know? See, that's a rational argument against it. That's showing that you are ignoring Star Trek canonical fact and instead just doing what you think is fun in the moment, but not taking into account that doesn't make sense. That's a real argument. Saying, oh, you just hate women. That's not an argument. So let's respond with real argumentation. And by the way, even if you're a Discovery supporter, and I know there's a couple of you out there that subscribe to my channel, same thing with you. If you want to say, this is why I think, hey guys, it's a television show and the entertainment value is primary, and therefore if you have to violate canon in order to have an entertaining show, that's okay. Make that kind of argument. Not that you're just a homophobe because you don't like that there's a gay couple on the show. When nobody that I know of has ever made the argument that Star Trek Discovery sucks because there's a gay couple on the show. I've never heard that argument. I've never heard the argument that Star Trek Discovery sucks because there's a black female lead. Not once. I've heard people say that Michael Burnham is a horrible character. That's true. But it has nothing to do with her race or her gender. Let's see. Hey all, James Carmichael's here. Haven't been here in a while. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, James. Well, it's been a rough period of time. I just had surgery on my leg a couple of weeks ago. It'll be 2 weeks as of tomorrow. And so I'm in a lot of pain, but I have this wonderful, and for those of you that don't know the concept of a simple machine, I have a very simple machine here. This uses nothing but gravity and thermodynamics to circulate cold ice water around my leg and create a little bit of compression. And boy, it helps a lot. I wish I could keep it on all the time, but I need to take it off from time to time. That's because you don't want to keep that pressure on the incision area 24/7. That's not a good thing. All right, so back to the chat. Dan says, there have been some Star Trek novels released recently. I don't read them. I read very few Star Trek novels. I don't recommend a lot of Star Trek novels because being dyslexic, it's difficult for me to read for enjoyment anyway. However, if you're a TNG fan, I highly recommend the Star Trek novel Vendetta. If you've never read it, it is almost a direct sequel to Best of Both Worlds, and it is what Star Trek First Contact should have been. Vendetta has a little bit of a problem with the ending. The ending, I think, needs to be rewritten, but everything else about the story is freaking awesome. It has great callbacks, like Commander Shelby is in it. She's the first officer of another ship now. There's an incredible space battle that involves multiple Borg cubes, multiple starships, and the freaking Doomsday Machine from the original series. And holy crap, it's intense. It's great. I remember there's one part about, like, in the middle of this battle, that the captain of this other ship, and this captain and Picard were old rivals. I'm going to tell you a little story from the book. So, in fact, here's how in the book, when they first meet each other on the view screen, the guy looks at Picard and says, "Oh, Picard, still bald, I see." And Picard says, I can't remember the other captain's name, so I'll just say Captain Smith. And he's like, "Oh, Captain Smith, still fat, I see. Well, Picard, I can lose weight." That's the kind of relationship they have. And then this guy's first officer is Commander Shelby from Best of Both Worlds, and they're in the middle of this big battle. And I think they're I can't remember if they're in a Galaxy class or Excelsior class ship, but a significant starship. And they're in the middle of this battle, and it describes they're looking at the view screen and they see this Borg cube just ripping into them and the other ships, and he sees the warp nacelle from his own ship drifting in front of them because it got sliced off by the Borg. And he looks at his first officer and says, "And Picard beat these guys?" I just love that moment. So, absolutely got to read Vendetta. Luke with his €2. Thank you again, Luke. I missed you, my friend. Haven't seen you in a little while. And always good to hear from you. Thank you for all the stuff that you've given me on Discord. I haven't been able to read it all, but you always send very interesting stuff for sure. Cinnabon says, that's why he's Bird of Prey. I thought he loved Falcons. No, Bird of Prey wants to... You see, Bird of Prey he's a failed experiment. Now, we all know that, the Klingons... back in, I think it was in the 22nd century, tried to experiment with augment DNA in order to improve themselves, and they ended up losing their ridges temporarily because of it. Well, there was a side effect, which is that all the, like if you've never seen Twins, the movie, where they tried to make the perfect person, they made Arnold Schwarzenegger, but all the leftover DNA became Danny DeVito. Same thing. They tried to do this with the Klingon DNA, and all the reject Klingon DNA became Bird of Prey. Star Trek. What? I just love getting wrecked by starchy potatoes. Oh, well, I guess I missed it. All right, so now let's get to the ship quiz now that I've gotten to that point in the chat. Give me just a second, Thomas, while I bring it up on my screen. I assume you... There it is. You sent it to me on Discord. Oh, wow. I'm not sure I know what that one is. So, Thomas... Real quick, before I do the actual quiz, will you tell me in... actually, don't do it in Discord. Tell me... Oh, let me check. You might have already done it. Tell me on Twitter what that ship is so I can see what the correct answer is, because I'm not 100% sure on that one. I have a couple of ideas, but obviously I can't say anything because, yeah, that would not work. And let's see... okay, yeah, that is what I thought it was, but I was not sure. So, whoo, I actually got it right. All right, thank you, Thomas. All right, so are you guys? So here's the rules. Whenever Thomas does a ship quiz, Thomas loves those Eagle Moss ships, and I love them too. They're a little pricey for what they are. But Thomas is obsessively collecting them, and so this is part of the Eagle Moss collection. This is a ship from Star Trek. First person in the chat to name the ship correctly gets to pick a super chat. All right, so ready, guys? Here it comes. Name that ship. And so let me go to so I can see the current chat. Otherwise, it will be a very long time before I get to the answer. All right. BIRDOPREY throws in the first guess of a Kazon shuttle. That is not correct. And so we'll see if anybody else comes up with something good here. That's obviously the USS Enterprise. That's Star Trek, no. Talaxian fighter, nope. Thomas says BIRDOPREY. Well, okay. And John DeMarco nails it. It is a Cardassian freighter. Very good, John DeMarco. So, John DeMarco, you get to pick a super chat reward. So let me know which super chat you want, John DeMarco, and I will play it. Now, of course, I got to wait for you to catch up. In the 30-second delay can be a major pain. And well, let's see. And still waiting to hear from John DeMarco. All right, always a delay. Always a delay. That's one thing I don't like about the way the YouTube system works, but yeah. Tentacle says it's the wrong color. Well, I can't speak for that. That could be the camera or the lighting where he took the picture. But I'm going... Thomas is the final arbiter on these things because he's got the documentation on it. Jason says, think the Klingon Cardassian freighter is the same model. That could be, but but we're just going on what the packaging for that ship says as far as the Eagle Moss official documentation on it. Still waiting to hear from John DeMarco what you want, John. So come on, stop making it tough on me. Yes, it's modified to appear to be a Klingon freighter later on. Ah, okay. Now, John, you're putting in comments about the ship, but you didn't tell me what super chat you want. Come on, buddy. Don't leave me hanging here because I got to get back to the past chat that I'm in so that I can continue on. And so everything is waiting on you, my friend. You're holding up the whole stream. Let's see. Come on. All right. Well, we'll give you a minute, John. Because I'm like 12 minutes behind now. And so that's still nothing? Okay. New username, a real Burnham fan 5 for BIRDOPREY 5. That would be a good one. I think that BIRDOPREY, you should consider that. Change your username to Real Burnham Fan 5. Oh, John says, I asked for number 15. Okay, I didn't see it. Thank you, John. And here you go, my friend. 15 is another very popular one.
Sir, we are being hailed.
On screen. What is your problem?
I am Lore.
Do you need help?
I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Lore Reloaded.
Let me guess, the rubber band broke, right?
I make YouTube go.
There you go. Thank you, John. All right, so back to the chat. Did you see Disney Plus tweeted every show coming on Disney Plus? No, I did not, Thomas. If you could, send me that tweet. We'll check it out. Darth Raven says, I said last night about E4 and the drama was last night at, well, oh, okay. I couldn't remember, Darth, who said it, but thank you. Are you getting ready to go deep in debt for us when Picard and Star Trek Discovery Season 3 come out? Well, yeah, I'm going to have to invest in a distillery, I'm thinking. I truly do think that that's going to become necessary. JP loved number 23. Good. I'm glad JP won. I still think that you need to work on that username. Luke Fovark throws €2 in, of course, a little while ago, says, I'm also half hattable. Still not sure what hattable means. So, yeah. Rock Salt says, there are those of us stuck behind the tax hell wall of the People's Republic of Illinois. There are a few states like that, man. Illinois is not the only one. Darth Maul says, no bloody notifications. I'm sorry about that, Darth. Yeah, make sure, and this is actually something you should do from time to time, because YouTube, among all the rest of the crap that they're throwing at those of us that give a dissenting opinion about Star Trek Discovery and other politics in our franchises stuff, is they unsubscribe people. I've had people be unsubscribed from my channel multiple times. So I highly recommend every now and then go in and just make sure that you are in fact still subscribed to the channel, and then turn the notifications off and back on to make sure that you're getting notifications, because YouTube plays sneaky little games like that. Night Breeze throws a buck in, says, don't forget to hit the like button, and all hail the Hypno Turd. Oh, Night Breeze, you gotta love that Hypno Turd, don't you? All right. All hail the Hypno Turd. You must give to the Hypno Turd. Remember, the Hypno Turd is in your mind. The Hypno Turd knows you, because the Hypno Turd is you. Give everything to the Hypno Turd. There you go, Night Breeze. I don't know what you are freaking obsessed with the Hypno Turd for. Let's see. And give me just a second. I need to take the little ice pack thing off for a little while, because it's been on for the max amount of time now. So I'll take that and put it up there so that the water will drain back. All right. Dan23 says, do you like looking at Star Trek ship concept art? I do, actually. There's sometimes when it makes me angry because, wow, that, something would have been 100 times better. But there are other times that, I just think, wow, we dodged a bullet on that one. A great example is the fact that I remember seeing the concept art that ended up becoming Star Trek Discovery. And so that concept art, of course, horrible. Hello, and Jacob Patterson donates a couple of bucks. Says, hello, Mr. Anti-Trekker. Number 23, please. You got it, Jacob. And thank you, my friend. So let's bring up number 23 again. let's take a look. And thank you again, Thomas, for sending me that tweet of this Disney Plus thread. Let me see. Okay, so it looks like Disney. Yeah, this is a. Okay, let's take a look at their lineup here. And bring up the game screen. There we go. All right. So, starting off, we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937, classic movie, will be available on Disney Plus. That's good. I don't think I've ever seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's one of those classic movies I've just never seen, so that could actually be fun. Pinocchio will be coming to Disney Plus, another classic. And First donated $1. Thank you so much, First, and says Cree. So I wonder who that could be. And sorry, I'm not reading the chat for a couple of minutes while we're going over all this Disney Plus stuff. But I do see Darth Raven asks if Ebony had a safe flight. Yes, she and her boyfriend did make it home just fine. All right, so back to the listing here. So after Pinocchio, we have Swiss Family Robinson, the 1940 classic movie. Another one that I've never seen, so I might check it out. Fantasia, love Fantasia, the edited version. Am deeply troubled and offended by the unedited version. I doubt they're going to put the unedited version on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, it is downright racist. Just downright racist, which is too bad because otherwise an excellent film. The Reluctant Dragon from 1941. I have never even heard of this one. It looks stupid, but hey, we'll check it out when it comes out. It'd be cool actually seeing a Disney cartoon from the 40s that I'd never heard of. Dumbo, also from 1941. Not my favorite Disney film, but we'll probably watch it. Bambi from 1942. I will tell you, this movie, if you have not seen Bambi, this movie made me cry like a baby. And so, and by the way, the first time I saw Bambi, I think, in my mid to late 20s. Mrs. Antitrekker took me when Disney took it out of the vault and re-released it in theaters briefly. And Mrs. Antitrekker took me to see it. I'd never seen it before. And she was laughing at me. She still laughs at me to this day because I broke down crying about it. Saludos Amigos from 1943. Wow, that seems like it should be racist, but okay. The Three Caballeros from 1945. Never heard of that one. Miracle on 34th Street. Classic film from 1947. Fun and Fancy Free from 1947. And, well, Mickey and the Beanstalk, I guess, came from that. I remember that story. Melody Time from 1948. I don't remember that one at all. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That's a good one. If you haven't seen that, that one will be a good one to see when Disney Plus comes out. Cinderella from 1950, another classic. I enjoyed Cinderella quite a bit. Treasure Island from 1950. Another one that I have not seen that a lot of people talk about, but that's a movie that I have actually never seen. And Mrs. Antitrekker sent me a message saying, Dumbo is totally racist. You're right, the crows in Dumbo are totally racist. And I was 20 when we saw Bambi. Thank you for reminding me of how embarrassed you made me. And let's see. All right. Back to the listing. Treasure Island, I don't remember ever seeing. So I remember Treasure Planet. I like that. Alice in Wonderland, that's a freaky movie. The Story of Robin Hood and His Merry Men from 1952. Well, I'll check it out, but quite frankly, I think Errol Flynn's Robin Hood will still be my definitive Robin Hood choice. Peter Pan, another classic. True Life Adventures, The Living Desert, that could be interesting. I did used to love the Disney nature shows back in the day. The Vanishing Prairie, another Disney nature show. I did love all of those. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I vaguely remember seeing that, but it's been so long that I don't remember the details. So I will definitely watch that when Disney Plus comes out. Davy Crockett, I remember seeing that. I remember I didn't really care much for it, but a lot of people love Davy Crockett. Lady and the Tramp, do not care about that one. The African Lion. I vaguely remember this one, and I think that's one that I'm looking forward to. Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. I don't like the Davy Crockett movies. Secrets of Life. I don't know that one, but looks like it focuses on bugs. Could be interesting. The Story of Perry. I assume that's the squirrel. I'm sure it'll be cute. Old Yeller. Tragic film. And so I'll probably check that one out and cry again. White Wilderness, I don't know that one, but it looks like it's about polar bears. Could be fun. The Sign of Zorro. Never been a big Zorro fan, but could be fun. Sleeping Beauty, classic movie. Maleficent, one of the best villains in the Disney library. So looking forward to that. And that's it. That's on. Oh, let's see. Yeah, where's all the modern stuff? So those are just like a bunch of old movies. Now I know that in that first video they posted, you see a bunch of stuff flash by, which includes some of like the more modern stuff. So let's go back up to the top of the list and see if we can spy anything important. All right, so going back here, so we have Snow White, we have Captain Marvel, yuck. We have Toy Story, okay, Force Awakens, Free Solo, so it's a climbing thing, I guess. Lizzie McGuire, don't care. Mona, don't care. DuckTales, don't care. Tangled, don't care. Incredibles, awesome. The X-Men animated series, that's always good. Mandalorian, I know a lot of people looking forward to the Mandalorian. Sorry, it's jumping around, but I can't really do much about that. Well, I could pause it, I suppose, but it becomes... There we go. The Mandalorian. I know a lot of people looking forward to this show. I'll see it with an open mind. I'll let you know what I think when it comes out. High School Musical, don't care. 10 Things I Hate About You, don't care. Aladdin, don't care. Ant-Man, fun movie, but I mean, we know all the Marvel movies are going to be there. Avengers, Brink, whatever that is. Cheetah Girls, don't care. Didn't quite catch the other one. The Narnia movies, cool. Cinderella, cool. Darkwing Duck, cool. Yeah. Emperor's New Groove. If you haven't seen Emperor's New Groove, that is a funny movie. The Fantastic Four, I assume that's one of the older series from the look of it. Finding Nemo, some of the heavyweights. Okay, about sandwiches. Hercules Inside Out, good movie. So yeah, it doesn't look like they're showing anything new. The only thing that's actually new content is The Mandalorian. So, unfortunately, I'd like to see everything, but that just seems like that's all we're going to get for right now. All right, back to the chat. I know I'm way the heck behind. Thomas, how can you fit all those Eagle Moss ships into that small room in Ant Checker's office? He has a TARDIS. Hateable. Oh, hateable. Oh, I saw hateable. Dyslexia. Thank you, Luke. So it's hateable. Yes, you are half hateable. And Rock Solid also correcting me on that. Man, I'm an idiot. Actor says, so you're... there goes... sorry, the chat's going a little nuts on me because I'm am I far behind. Hector says, so your body stopped fighting the implant, and now I'll start the takeover of your flesh. Good. Okay. Luke says, number 26 and number 1. No, not the bearded one. The feminine one. Not the bearded one. The feminine one. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Luke, but let's go to number 26 and then number 1 and see what you're talking about. And I see... Eclectic Hawk threw £5 into the chat. Thank you. Says, get your orders in for Star Trek Discovery Special Reserve Scotch, as smooth as Discovery's canon. Get your eyesight back within 2 days, guaranteed. Man, my phone is just exploding here. Let's see. Okay, that's from that conversation. I see why. It's like this conversation that's going on. I need to mute it for right now. All right. So thank you, Eclectic Hawk. Yes, I will definitely be needing some Star Trek Discovery Strength alcohol when Season 3 begins. Oh, jeez. All right, so number 26, then you said number 1, not the bearded one, the feminist one. I'm trying to figure that out. Here's number 26.
The toast and eggs are really good, but there seems to be something missing. Yeah, that's what you're having for breakfast? That simply won't do. Follow me instead. What kind of place are you taking us to? A place that will introduce you to Frosted Fruity Hulls. Not only does it have 4 unique fruity flavors, but it also has a glazed frost that makes it extra yummy.
How do they get so deliciously frosty?
The frosting is Frosted Fruity Hulls, of course, comes from this hull. Part of a complete nutritious breakfast.
So there is number 26. Now, number 1 is this one. If it'll pull.
No, please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go, please. No, I don't want to go. No. Why would you do this to your fans, you heartless monster?
Whatever. But that is neither bearded nor feminine, so I'm not 100% sure what you meant there, unless you meant number 2.
I'm a better female character than you.
You would be if you didn't spend all your time with that temper tantrum meme guy.
At least I'm not the one on a show with a questionable acronym.
Take it back.
No, 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 no,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no.
yes.
Oops. Sorry to bother you.
There you go. So what? And Luke confirms it's that one. So what you meant was number 2, not number 1. But that's all right. Remember, the women are number 2. That's just wrong. Dan says, well, Spock in Discovery or Short Treks is younger and half human. Maybe the things that are dangerous, the Vulcans are only half dangerous to Spock, and sometimes needs to do something human, even though he suppresses it. I don't know. It just... I don't like the, because I know Spock smiles in the cage, right? Now, we know that the real reason Spock smiles in the cage is because his character hadn't been developed yet. But in canon, we usually try to argue that he was immature or something like that, and that would be closer to the time of this. But there's a difference between Spock flashing a smile, which he does in the cage. He also does that, by the way, in Where No Man Has Gone Before, the second pilot, when Kirk is beating him in chess, and he's like, irritated Spock? And he's like, irritation, Captain. Ah, yes, one of your human emotions, right? And so we're like, what? So that, you could argue, is Spock's immaturity. What you don't see ever is Spock spontaneously breaking out into musical theater just to have a laugh, right? Like, the only other time we see Spock sing twice, I believe, in the entire run of Star Trek, up until now. The first being in Plato's Stepchildren, when he's forced to sing the song Bitter Dregs, which is physically painful for him to do. The other is in Star Trek V, when he sings Row, Row, Row Your Boat with Kirk and McCoy. And you could see that he determined it was logical to sing the song in order to make his 2 best friends feel more comfortable with him. And so I could see that you could come up with a logical reason for him to sing. As far as his breaking out into song in the Short Trek, it felt completely out of character. That's my problem with it, Dan, is it just didn't feel like Spock at that moment. If there was if he said, I can see you're infatuated with the song, therefore I think it would be logical for me to sing it with you or something. Even though that would be very flimsy, I might be able to buy it. All right, and let's go back to, let's see. Remember, I'm only reading stuff addressed to me because I'm so far behind in the chat. Luke says, by the way, do you think we'll be able to resume your Stargate Odyssey? Yes. I actually watched a couple episodes of Stargate in the last few days, and I'm looking forward to it, but yes. Demo Gorgonzola, look, you're bald, look, you're fat. Shining examples of evolved Federation people. Yes, that is true. I think that whole evolved people thing that Picard talks about is a bunch of crap anyway. Jonathan says, I want to see T'Pol somehow in timeline proper, and her and Trip had a kid together whose grandkids is an admiral and says my foremother was on the Enterprise, the best one. That could be interesting. Dan says, what you said about the ice thing is similar to my mom using a thumb brace because her thumb hurts for some unknown reason. She doesn't wear it 24/7 because of pressure thing, but it helps. Yeah, you don't want to put pressure on that on a wound like a surgery incision constantly. You need to, and that's why even like when you're in the hospital, and this is like after my last surgery, they put these things on your legs that occasionally put pressure on your legs. You don't want constant pressure. And Rock Salt says, number 11, All right. Do I owe you one rock solid? I don't care. If I do or I don't, I'm going to put it up there because I'm in a good mood. Hey, Josh. Yes, that is me as a turd sneaking to Laura Reloaded's house in the middle of the night and throwing crap at his face for reasons. Let's get on here. Darth Red says, dude, your other computer screen has a white box. Yes, that happens anytime BIRDOPREY accesses the computer. When the software that he uses puts that white box up. I know it's hard to see because of the blowout from the camera, but it actually says this was a free session sponsored by TeamViewer.com, blah, 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 blah. And basically just thanking you for using TeamViewer, the software that he uses to access the server. Wow, that was painful. If I click on the screen like that, then that goes away. But it'll come back the next time. That's how I always know if Bird's been on the computer, because I see that white box. Let's see here. There's the guesses from the ship quiz. So we can skip all that. It's difficult to spell the Star Trek ships that come up on the screen. Well, yeah, but spelling doesn't count. It was used as a Klingon freighter in Star Trek Armada. Yeah, I remember that, actually. Now that you mention that, Josh, I do remember that. But we're talking... Armada is a fun game, but the official canon is from what we see on screen. When I can, I'll go see the Joker film. Enjoy your discussion from last night. Also, you give me an idea to make a video describing more of my Uber driving experiences. You should, Captain. I think we need, assuming it's okay, I don't know what Uber's terms of service are, but it could actually be interesting, like Tales from Uber. Because I'm sure you see a lot of stuff. Tom says it's an extremely long tweet. I assume you're talking about the Disney thing, but yeah, I think we went through everything that Disney actually posted. There's some responses from other people, but yeah, I don't think it's everything that Disney is putting on the server. It's just a lot of stuff that Disney is putting on. Thomas says there's about 635 images in the tweet thread. Well, why don't I see that then? I just see, I don't know, the couple of dozen that we looked at. Unless there's more that, I'm looking through it right now to see is like there a more option here somewhere. No, let's see, Living Desert, Vanishing Pride, blah, 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 blah. Secrets of Life, Prairie, Old Yeller, Sign of Zorro, Sleeping Beauty. See, 599 more. Wow, you're not kidding. Okay. So we'll do a little bit more. Let's look some more, and we'll actually, let me try to get caught up on the chat, and then we'll look at some more and see what we got. Thank you, Thomas. Are you doing okay? You seem to be moving a bit more as your painkillers wearing out. Yeah, the painkillers are, they're wearing off. I am a little uncomfortable, Darth Revan, but I can hang out for a little longer. Continuum says, still sub, don't worry. How are you doing after the operation? I'm hanging in there. Still a little rough, not gonna lie. Still a little rough. There's Jacob's $2 super chat. Thank you. And I believe I already played number 23 for you, but you know what? I'm not 100% sure, so I'll play it again because I don't want you to feel like I ripped you off. I do love that one. It is so freaking awesome. Did Ebony have a safe flight? I know I already read that. Yes, she did. Mr. Miles says, have you heard about Spider-Man being confirmed to be in Venom 2? I have not, Mr. Miles, but if true, that is the best news I've heard all day, because I would very much like to see Tom Hardy's Venom go up against Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think both of them were extremely well cast, and they could definitely play off of each other very, very well. The only problem is they already screwed the pooch with the origin of Venom, but I would very, very much like to see that. Demogorgon says, Bambi versus Godzilla, awesome short. Yes, I did really enjoy that. Continues, says, I've heard of Pete's Dragon. Was that Disney? That was Disney. That was a little bit later, though. Pete's Dragon, I think, was 80s. Loquicious Primate put $5 into the chat. Thank you, Loquicious. Says, hey, Trigger, saying hello. Hope your recovery is going well. And until then, may your meds be sufficient. What did you think of the Tribble Short Trek? Hello,
I got him!
Well, I'll say this, Loquicious. What did I think of the Tribble Short Trek? I thought it was funny. All right, I think H. John Benjamin did a genuinely good job with the material he was given. H. John Benjamin is always very funny. He's just got that perfect comedic voice. But that being said, it would have been a great, and I mean great with a capital G, parody of Star Trek. As canonical Trek, it is an absolute insult. That's the problem I have with it. Very well made, even well written, insulting because of what it does to establish Trek canon. I hope that sums it up well. I saw an unused concept for an Ambassador Kit Bash ship that was drawn for TNG Pegasus. They decided not to use it. You know, a lot of times you see those concepts and you're like, man, why didn't they use it? I know it usually boils down to budget, but it does suck sometimes because sometimes you see some brilliant ideas. Roxalt says, 3 Caballeros was the ride at San Angel Restaurant in Epcot based on Anti-Trekker. One of my favorites. I didn't know that. I've never been to Epcot, so I'm hoping to go to Disney World sometime in the not-too-distant future, but I've never been. I've been to Disneyland a couple of times, but never been to Disney World. Dan says, never heard of the Reluctant Dragon also. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone on that. What about Uncle Ramus? Bet he won't be there, and you got upset when they stopped drawing the deer. I'm not sure what you mean about stop drawing the deer, but as far as Uncle Remus and Song of the South, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I would love to. I've never seen the Song of the South. I would love to see an unedited copy, but yeah. Roxal says Robin Hood Men in Tights is the definitive Robin Hood. I'm sorry, you haven't seen the Errol Flynn Robin Hood. Then you should check it out. Mr. Mouse says, Trigger, why doesn't anyone ever say the vultures from Robin Hood are racist? It's just as stereotypical as the crows from Dumbo, but for Brits. You know what? I don't remember, because I assume you're talking about the animated film, The Sword and the Stone. If so, I'd have to rewatch it, because I don't remember vultures from that. Roxal cried at Old Yeller. Oh, yeah, you have to. If you don't cry at Old Yeller or Bambi, you have no soul. This is a wild pig, Anti-Trekker is a wild boar at Night Breeze. This is a wild pig. Anti-Trekker is a wild boar. Okay. Waiting for the demonetization from Disney now. Well, except that we're not talking negative about Disney, so they shouldn't file a claim against this one, and we're not showing their video footage. Alice in Wonderland is a drug-induced hallucination. That is one possibility as far as multiple interpretations of the story. But to me, I never cared for that kind of thing. It's like, I know some people are saying the Joker movie was entirely a hallucination inside the mind of Arthur Fleck. Which, yeah, you could make that argument, and I could see why that could be, but that also just undermines the entire movie and makes it pointless. So I choose not to go with that kind of thing. Let's see. Did they release White Wilderness, the Foamy Lemmings doc? I didn't see it so far, but there's still like almost 600 things we have not covered yet. We'll go through some of them in a little bit. They didn't have Follow Me Boys. It was one of Kurt Russell's first movies. I don't remember that one. I'm not going to lie. I don't remember that at all. Darth Vader says, does this mean I'm not getting plus all of these and more coming soon? Let's see. Does this mean I'm not getting plus all of these and more coming soon to Disney Plus? Pre-order now, U.S. only, and start streaming November 12th. Well, if it's U.S. only, then yeah, that would kind of suck for you, because yeah, let's see. So 26 days, 16 hours, 16 minutes, 47 seconds. I do like $6.99 a month. That ain't bad. Let's see. I've seen the animated Disney Robin Hood once as a kid. Yeah, I've only seen it once or twice. I don't remember it that well, so I don't remember the vultures if they were in there. Mandalorian sounds like a musical instrument. It kind of does. There's Eclectic Hawks, 5 pounds, says, get your orders from Star Trek Discovery Special Reserve Scotch. I definitely need some of that. Thomas says, right after Sleeping Beauty, this is blue text saying $5.99 more. Yes, I clicked on that and I see the list now. Thank you, Thomas. Starch says that should be the new Mrs. Antricker story video. The time I took Michael to see Bambi. We'd all pay to watch. I hate you all. I'm a better... Okay, yeah, that's Luke clarifying. Yes, we got that. The Disney Plus tweet is going by years. Yeah, it looks like it. Let's see. I really hate Lizzie McGuire, but when I was a kid... But it was on when I was a kid. Didn't care for it. There was an episode on bras and periods. I never watched Lizzie McGuire. Dr. Alex is excited because there's some more Turtis. Questionable acronym. Brilliant. Yes, I love that. That was Joshua's idea. Dan says about the Mandalorian, they're not releasing the name of the character. I know, which is stupid, but I'm sure it will be meaningless. You never sang to your manager on your first day. You never sang to your manager on your first day? No, I can't say that I have. Mr. Miles says, did you know that Nimoy also wrote the Bitter Dreg song? I did not. How far have you gotten into SG-1? I'm in Season 7. Mr. Miles says, I second Eclectic Hawk's question. How far on Stargate? Just answered. Just watched all Stargate episodes except Stargate Origins. I heard Stargate Origins sucks, but I don't know yet. And Mr. Miles just says, Stargate. Yes, I know, Mr. Miles. Have you seen the banned Looney Tunes shorts from World War II? Yes, I've seen a few of them, and a lot of them are really, really bad. Particularly just about anything dealing with the Japanese. Answer, yeah, but I'm trying to spell freighter, sometimes ends up saying fighter. Yeah, but if somebody said fighter, I would have gotten it. Loquisha says, hey, Interior saying hello. I already read that, but what did you think of the Tribble short trek? I already answered that. And, man, I'm so far behind, guys. Please don't keep... Let's see, well... Oh, geez, I'm about 5 minutes behind. I got to get caught up and wrap it up because my leg is killing me, and then we'll look at the rest of this Disney stuff on the next stream, I think. Sharmer says, had to leave for a while. Great to see you're still online, able to stream. You're on the mend, my friend. I'm trying to be. Dan says, Venom director reckons Tom Holland's Spider-Man will battle Tom Hardy. That will be freaking awesome. Valkyrie's one. I don't know if I've seen you before, so if you're new, welcome. Says, hey, how far are you in Stargate? Stargate Atlantis. That isn't far enough. How do you like space battles, or do you have any favorites? No, I haven't gotten far enough. I haven't gotten to Atlantis yet, so I'll let you guys know when I get there. And Dr. Alex says, indeed, check out number 10, my top 10 sword fighting films for a review of Errol Flynn's writing Robin Hood. Very good. Yeah, you should, guys. Check out Dr. Alex's channel. He's got these sword fighting film videos. They're very in-depth, and so you should just definitely check them out. Wild Pig Boar comment is a response to Nightbreeze quoting Robin Hood Men in Tights. Ah, gotcha. Now that makes a little more sense. Same vultures were used in Jungle Book. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Jungle Book. Never really cared about it. Loquisha says, so if Joker is taken literally, does that mean Bruce Wayne is 20 to 30 years younger than Joker, or do you just not think it's canon Joker? Well, if the Joker movie was to be like the first movie in the DCEU, which I think it should have been, that was my basic gripe about the film, is that it's not part of the DCEU because it was freaking brilliant. Yes, it would mean the Joker was some 20 to 30 years younger, or 20 to 30 years older than Bruce Wayne. But I'm okay with that because Joker was never a physical threat to Batman. So I think that I think could work. What I don't think can work is, you know, they've already screwed the pooch on the whole DCEU thing. Follow Me Boys was a Boy Scouts movie. A guy stops in town and begins a troop, follows him and the troop over many years. It's a good movie. Okay, I've never heard of it. Yosef says, Spock sang to a superior officer, thus the question, if you never... if you did the same. How? Okay, gotcha. How comments get lost when you are bird-like behind. I know, Yosef, I'm sorry about that. Plus the pain is kicking in a little bit. Jason says, great stream as always, my friend. Take care, live long and prosper. All right, Jason. Go lie down, big guy. Will do, Mike. And that is going to wrap it up. Although Valkyrie says, Andrew, I've been around a long time, almost since your channel start. Just usually can't make the live streams or lurk. No problem, Valkyries. In that case, welcome. Glad you've been here. It's people like you that make this channel work, honestly. Because if I don't have people watching the videos and watching the live streams, I'm screwed. And Mr. Miles, I saw that article that you sent me. You know what? If I'm up to it after I get my next pain pill in me, I may record something for you based on that, because that is worthy of talking about. Joker was 52 in 1989's Batman, and it didn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Jack Nicholson's substantially older than Michael Keaton's character in the 1989 Batman, so I think That should be good. Also, Auntie feel better. Oh, Auntie's not sick. She was just staying at the vet because of my surgery, because I can't have her hopping up on my leg and giving her sad eyes like she likes to do. She's back home, but she's kind of quarantined from me until my leg gets better enough to where I don't have to panic every time she comes near me and worry about her hurting me. And Mr. Miles says, okay, let me ask you this. Why isn't Dick Van Dyke's horrible British impression considered racist? It's a stereotype driven. He's wearing Brit face. That's a good question. That is a very good question. And I don't know, because it should be, because it's so horrible. Nightbreeze says, have a great day. On Rock Solid, Hooker Client. You're right. I forgot to play Hooker Client Confidentiality. Oh, my gosh. I owe you, my friend. So just for that, Rock Solid, I'll give you and you put another $2 in there. So if you want any of the Uber chats or even a mega chat to make up for it, I will play it for you. So let me know, Rock Solid. But in the meantime, I'm trying to remember which number is Hooker Client Confidentiality, because holy crap, that's let's see. No, where is it? Hookers birthday cheap bleach is number 17. All right, so let me get that.
Hey, you want to learn about Jesus?
There's no such thing as hooker client confidentiality.
And for those of you that don't know, yes, indeed, that is Lore Reloaded. Remember that the next time you watch Lore Reloaded, that is Lore Reloaded. Also, fun fact, that Jeep behind Lore Reloaded is BIRDOPREY 5.
Hey, you want to learn about Jesus?
There's no such thing as hooker client confidentiality.
All right, and Rock says, I'll just take my Hooker Client Confidentiality. Fair enough, my friend. I appreciate it. And let's see. And so with that, guys, I'm done. I gotta lie down. So thank you all for putting up with me. Hopefully I'll be on Midnight's Edge tonight. So don't forget to check me out there. And then don't forget Friday, we're going to be on Nerdrotic. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to try to get some stuff recorded for Mr. Miles, because I've got to get some content going. And I know you guys say, oh, take your time, get better. I get that, and I appreciate it, but I still got to fight to do it, because if I don't, then I'll never get around to it. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one, and kapla. And, of course, the credits don't roll correctly, because why would they?